Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Happy Monday. How's everyone doing today? The chai latte is hot and Bitcoin is not. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, smash the like button and subscribe if you are new. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you very much for joining me on this fine Monday evening. Happy Monday. Dave said smashed. Mike Joey said shopper man. Gourmet Brands Brooklyn said happy birthday, Mama JJ. Unverified is giving a super duper late daily close, guys. Unfortunately, we're not doing the daily close today because it was my mother's birthday. Happy birthday to my mother. Thank you very much, Gourmet Brands Brooklyn. What's going on, everybody? We got Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn, Unverified, Philly, Dixie. Dixie said, can't do these late streams, JJ. Get back on track. This is how I imagine Dixie said it. He said, I can't do these late streams, JJ. Get back on track. And then he spit. Just as disrespectful as possible. I'm just kidding. I love you, Dixie. Oh my God, I just whacked the mic. Damn it. Unverified, Dremmer. Philly? What's going on, Philly? Philly said, relax about the rejection. It's always like this pre-FOMC. I'm totally relaxed. I could have used the picture in the thumbnail, but I didn't. I used the chill one with the pipe. Excuse me. Goodness. Philly said, smash the like, cracked my screen. Happy birthday, Mama Jocks. Luckily, Philly, I'm fully aware that you are capable of fixing that screen. Oh my goodness, guys. I am glad to be home. I had a long day today. HQZ said things are still looking good as far as I'm concerned. I agree. I actually thoroughly agree. I'm super stoked. Hey, Opti's here. What's going on, Opti? Ladies and gentlemen, Opti is I'm going to call him, what am I going to call him? A-list Cardano celebrity we have in our midst. So everybody say hi to Opti. He is a legend among men. He actually holds the Guinness World Record for the largest amount of coffee consumed without instantaneous death. He is legitimately capable of consuming, I believe, 5 gallons of coffee in one sitting. He has not done the coffee enema yet. I've been trying to talk him into it. He's actually sent me a cease and desist, and I believe he has since gotten a restraining order against me. The pictures were not meant to be inappropriate. I was just trying to send you visual instructions. Some people are visual learners. That's my bad. I didn't mean anything by it. Ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoin, $117,895. We are chilling. Let's go refresh our liquidation heat map and take a look at Bitcoin dominance. 61.44. We got a little bounce off of like 60.75. Verified said no coffee enema equals top signal. I know, right? Who doesn't do that? You just wake up first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning, man. I got it sitting right next to my bedside table. All right, liquidation heat map. Zoom in a little bit here. The morning streams get weird. 117, 163. Oops, 163. There we go. And there's not a lot of liquidations. A lot of leverage has been flushed out. 116, 914. Interesting to see. I keep whacking the thing. I gotta find a better spot for my mic. My bad, guys. 119, 239. You guys will be pleased to find out I have officially ordered a actual computer chair for adults. $119,571. So that's exciting. Pretty soon I will have a fully fleshed out computer chair. Very excited about that. It took me a long time to pick. Unverified said, do they announce rates tomorrow or Wednesday? I believe it's a Wednesday thing. I think tomorrow's like the beginning of it or something. Let me check. When will they announce rates? FOMC. FOMC. Yeah, it's going to be on the 30th. So it's going to be Wednesday. Tuesday is like when they start because, you know, it takes them 2 days to have a conversation, I guess. Tuesday is when it starts. Wednesday when it ends. It says followed by, so the decision will be released at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So Wednesday at 2 p.m. we should know. And then they have a conference at 2:30 p.m. So, Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, hi, I'm very optimistic on ADA. Look at that. We got some ADA folks in here that I wasn't even aware of. Great as you say that as well. ADA's plummeting. Which is very sad. I don't know. You guys are probably fully aware. I have ADA on my side screen at all times. That's the only asset that I genuinely like put time into trading. It is down more than, well, it's about actually on par with Ethereum. So, yeah, alts in general are just kind of getting a little doozy right now with Bitcoin dominance getting a nice rebound. We'll see if this rejects though. I would love to see it reject at maybe 61.8. That'd be exciting. But like I said, this might be the W. This might be the rebound that sends us up to 64. W, and then maybe an M. Continuation. I would be okay with that. It's going to take some time, though, unfortunately. Looking for early to mid-August for an official recovery for altcoins, if that ends up being the case. Again, it's just fantasy. I just literally just threw a lineup on the chart, so don't take that to the bank. Don't take anything I say to the bank. None of this is financial advice. ETH is currently down 1.64% since the daily close. Is trading at $3,740. There's a very large quantity of liquidations that would occur on Ethereum if we hit 4K. A lot of bears would be liquidated, so I'm kind of looking for that, but right now we're going down. We do have a confirmed red dot on Market Cipher right at the very tippy top, signaling this downside that we're receiving here. We'll see if that signal is present on any other charts. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, don't miss the opportunity to buy ADA. Puns for the Cardano guru in the chat. I like it. I like it. Unverified. I think I scared him away with my coffee enema talk. Unverified said, oh, okay, he's still here. Unverified said ADA got shafted. Good news is when it pumps, it goes vertical. Yeah. I mean, shafted is... I guess I could see that. Yeah, it really did get knocked out of the top 5, like, pretty harsh. But it is pretty retail driven, so I'm pretty happy with it, honestly. Drummer said, I took what JJ said to the bank, and they slapped my pee-pee. That's because you walked in there with a coffee enema, like, mid-enema. Anyways... We're getting so sidetracked today. This is why I don't tend to do late streams. We kind of got a mean kind of going on with ETH. If this uptrend holds, I would be okay with it. It is very shallow though, but I've seen it to where, yeah, it's playing off like this, where we get kind of a shallow M, and then it looks like it's gonna go down, and then it bounces up, and that's kind of what's playing out right now. We got a shallow M. It's going to look like it's going to go down, and then it's going to bounce up. The question is, how low is it going to go if this plays out even? And is it actually going to bounce? Right there, guess I would look for maybe some support around 35, 36. I would not want it to go lower than this previous low, just because this one down here didn't. It actually was a higher low. So, I don't know. Just throwing stuff out there, speculation. That's what's paid off for us for the most part this entire time, and I'm going to stick to it. It is literally just random speculation the entire time. Sol is down 1.04%, currently trading at 181.19. It did break below 184. We got a little rejection around like 193-ish, 193, 194. And we have since broken our 184 potential support. Now our next support zone is going to be probably around 177, 178 at the purple trend line. which has been support since we broke it on July 16th. It was previous resistance, so we'll see if it holds as continued support. We only got really 1-2 hits of it so far. The second one was quite significant. Opti said, have you looked at Hype? Not recently, no, but I do like it as a project. I keep hitting the dang mic. Hang on, guys. Let me adjust you for a second. I'm sorry. So take a look at Hype. Any kind of decentralized perps, I think, is going to do amazing. Because people don't want the centralized exchanges to know everything that they're doing. And Hype is one of those opportunities that provides that. The question is, can I find a better chart? Not Binance US. Did I really click on Binance US? Ew. There we go. Gate has a beautiful chart. Okay, so Hype. Interesting. Hype is doing great. We got some very clear support right here at 2750-ish. Where you would have support here at 32. What just happened? We would have support here at 40. I'm going to call it 4080. Support here. This would be really strong support at 37. Right where it's at right now, actually, as well. This one's going to be a little bit weaker because there's only 2 points of confluence. But what's nice is once we broke above that 43.34, once we broke above this, it was kind of blue skies because this is not support resistance. There's really nothing going on here. This is all just, as far as I'm concerned, a fake out to the upside. So we got blue sky breakout, retest, confirmation of that breakout zone, which is that 43.34. And it looks like it held, and it's going to continue to the upside. That 43.40 is also relevant. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's that 43.34, my bad. So we'll just call it 43.34. We're sitting right there. I guess shorter term time frame, I would look for a break of, there seems to be 46 seems to be a strong resistance zone. Previous support, support, resistance, resistance. This is a tweezer top right here as well. So we might get a little sustained downside. We got a lot of volume in these candles right here. Not a lot of volume right here, which is interesting because there's really no reason for it. Volume really fell off right there. It hasn't been that low since the price was down here in the 38s. So that's an interesting observation for sure. Over 14 billion in open interest. Yeah, I think Hype is definitely top 10, possibly even top 5 if they maintain their market share. Wag Me down the street said, we are, how do they say mega effed? Why do you say that, Wag Me? You should change your name to Nag Me. I don't know what that would stand for, but total 3. Did I look at Sol yet? Yeah, Sol, we're looking for that support of 178 and a break above 184. If we break that 178, then maybe a midpoint around let's call it 172, midpoint in between our trend line and our 167. Otherwise, 167 could be in the cards. Total 3 down 0.64% since the daily close. We do seem to have a rejection around 1.06. We got a double top, M, double bottom, W, and then our little rally to the upside, little banana curve, and then it rejected at 1.06. Going back down, hopefully to retest 1 trillion. If we break below that, it's going to get a little sketchy for alts. But so far, so good. Negme. Not everyone's going to make it. I like that one. It also sounds like a spice that you would put on like whatever you put nutmeg on. It's like a off-brand nutmeg. Negme. ADA. ADA's up or down. I'm sorry. ADA's down 1.15% since the daily close. Broke below 80.80. And we had 82.03 support that we broke below, and then we broke below 80.80. Currently sitting at 78.43, which seems to be some semblance of short-term support with this W. If we break below that, 74.63 is probably definitely in the cards. We'll keep an eye on it, though. RSI showing a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of resilience here at 35-ish. Momentum wave just getting into the oversold territory. The lower half, I should call it, I guess. Wag Me down the street said, just short term, aft alts need to go to their range lows against Bitcoin. Yeah, I feel like they're already at their range lows, to be completely honest. Ben Cowan has been like getting off on live streams about alts and their Bitcoin pairs for like 5 years. It's the weirdest thing. Like, we heard you, bro. We understand. You're not supposed to accumulate the alts, though, when they're popping off. You're supposed to accumulate them when they're doing poorly. SNEK is down 0.9% on the day since the daily close. Broke below 35.16. We're at 34.59 right now. I would like to see it get back above 35 for tomorrow's daily close. Otherwise, look for midpoint support around 26.27. If that breaks, then 36.36. What am I looking at? 32? Yeah, 32.7. I guess. I don't know what I even saw. I had a completely dyslexic moment just now. I would look for midpoint support around 32.8 on SNEK. If that breaks, then look for 30 to be the next area to retest. The chart doesn't look bad though. We just got a rejection at 37. XRP is down 0.02%. A lot of news for XRP coming out recently. They did just reject this trend line though, this green trend or this blue trend line, which is somewhat of a legacy trend line. It goes back to April. So I guess legacy is a little pushing it. It's still in the same year. But it looks good. We got a rejection. And we're going back down to hopefully just retest the $3 area. Right now we're at 312. Holding up quite nicely actually compared to the other altcoins. HBAR down 1.7%. Still in the cancer curing range. HBAR sitting at 26.69. Nice. Our support zone is like 26.3, 26.4. If we break below that, I would look for this midpoint, which seems to have found support back here at 24. If we break that, then 22 should be strong support. We'll see what comes of it though. 22 should be real strong. SWE is down 0.06%. SWE has a lot of bullish momentum as well. A lot of sell pressure up here. Those 3 wicks indicate people are selling off their SWE, but there's also people buying significant amounts. There's like SWE strategic reserves being established in certain companies and stuff like that. Cheers, guys. Happy Monday. Thank you for joining me for this late night live stream. Make sure you smash the like button. It helps out a lot. We did recently get a very large spike in subscribers thanks to my latest upload. Go check it out. I think I'm going to do a sequel. See if I can find another AI girlfriend. That video was a lot of fun to make, though. Highly recommend. Sweet. Like I said, down 0.05%. Currently sitting at 390. 391 would be the area that we'd want to hold and bounce off of. If we can't get that, then look for support around 370. Midpoint would be 380. So, Josh said, thanks, bro. Thank you. Yeah, look for that support. Sweet's been holding up real nice. A lot of good price action here. Volumes inflating over time, which is exactly what we want to see. Price is depressed, increases, volume increases as well. We're looking good. RSI is currently sitting in right around 40. And last time it was significantly higher when the price was at this exact point. So the RSI is being reset. Right here, it was at the same exact price, and the RSI was overbought. Currently, it's almost entering, it's like nearing oversold at that same price of 390. So that's exactly what we want to see over time. The RSI, all of these oscillators reset, so that way we can push the price higher without being overbought so fast. We don't want it to heat up too quick. Otherwise, it gets ruined. It's like baking a cake. ADA down 1.44% on the day, currently trading at 97.82. Broke below $1, which is not great, but our support up there wasn't too strong to begin with. We got a couple of bounces off of it. Bounce, rejection, break, break below, bounce, bounce, rejection, continue. This was kind of a midpoint bounce right here around 97.4, 97.8. If we continue to the downside, 95.35 should be really, really strong support on Ondo. If that breaks, then we'll look at 90. But for now, there's a lot of confluence at that 95.35. That might be a really good spot. I'm going to keep a close eye on it personally because Ondo's one of my coins that I've been watching for quite some time. I like it. I like it as a project. I like it as an ecosystem. See where she goes. Unverified said Ben Cowan, the type of dude that talks Bitcoin Dom at family reunions, right? His parents are like locking the doors. He's like, hey, mom, dad, I'm on my way. They're like, we're not home. He's like, oh, your car's in the driveway. They're like, yeah, we took an Uber. They're like hiding in the closet. Shh. Shh. He's like, I don't see you in the window. I just wanted to tell you about Bitcoin dominance. You're like, we're not here. Please leave. You're gonna make the dogs bark or something. Arrow's down 1.99% on the day. Broke below 86. It seems to have tried to get back above. We got a nice wick of buys right there before the daily close. Then afterwards, we seem to have rejected again. And we're sitting at 83.8 right now. A little midpoint support would be around 80. We'll see what happens there. Otherwise, I don't know. 76 is in the cards, obviously. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, after the watch list review, can we look at Algo, please? We can look at Algo right now. We're not in any hurry. I can't type. I was going to type Algo Sui twice. Twice I had to correct myself. Algorand is down 1.32% since the daily close. RSI sitting right below 40. We did get a bearish cross below the moving average. Your momentum wave is starting to cross bearish as well, but that's a nice reset, so that's totally okay. Whoa, nice, beautiful pump out of Algorand. We seem to have a midterm rejection at 29.9. We'll just call it 30. Call it 30-cent rejection. And we got a nice bounce off of 25. And then another rejection at like 28, 29 cents. And we're sitting at 26 right now. We'll see if 25 holds. Otherwise, I would look for support at 24. 24 and 25 are going to be areas of interest based on previous price action. So it's at 26.15 right now. If it doesn't rebound soon, I don't know, volume's a little bit lackluster. These, though, you know, they look weak. They seem weak. The chart looks iffy. That is when you're supposed to buy. When it makes you feel uneasy, if you believe in the project longer term, if the chart makes you feel like, ugh, this doesn't look that great. Not financial advice. Every time I've seen a chart and I'm like, I don't really want that. That looks like crap. It looks like it's going to die. Every single time I have that thought in my head, it's the perfect time that I should have bought. And I never do. So I'm going to, I guess, try to start exercising that now. Because I probably could have gotten some killer entries had I just done the opposite of my little retail brain. But 26.18 right now. Look for 25 support. If that breaks, like I said, 24 should be last ditch effort. Bare minimum. See, here's the situation. This is your bear market lows back here. And it's got the similar situation right here. Literally, you got your little double bottom and then a skyrocket. Little double bottom, and then this isn't necessarily even a skyrocket. This is, in my opinion, just like the beginning of an accumulation. HQZ said, I believe in you, JJ. Believe in yourself. Thank you, HQZ. That's exactly what I needed here. Volume actually looks good. If you zoom out a little bit, volume looks really good. The question is it going to hold this 24? If that breaks, maybe I would say 21.1. Yeah, let's call it 21.1. And then there's also going to be a little bit of confluence around 23. I'm just going to call it 23. So a lot of psychological numbers here going on. 23, 24, 25. Very basic stuff. We'll see what holds. Sometimes it is just that easy. I would love to see it break above 29 or 30 and then head towards 36. I tried that right here. Failed the retest. Did a little fake out, head and shoulders, shorter time frame. Played out to the downside, got your little W, and then it started bouncing up. A lot of charts have this little W, this little MW thing that failed and then continued to the downside. Almost seems like a bull trap, which is interesting. A bull trap in a bull trend, I would call it. Pinlink down 3.52. Tishu said that did not work in Matic buying when the chart looks like trash. That's because it's not called Matic anymore. It's called Pole now. Matic does not exist. Tishu. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said thanks. Looking to pick up some more. Saw news they were working with Zebek. Nice. Yeah, I believe the don't quote me on this. You guys know I'm horrible at math, but I believe that the cryptographic portion of Algorand is really like top notch, like A-list, top tier level cryptography. Everybody that talks about Algorand, they seem to know more about the technical side of things, and they like the founder because he's more technical about stuff. From the vague things that I remember about people talking about it, it seems like a decent project when it comes to the tech. So Pinlink had this triple bottom back here that we watched. It got a little breakout, retest, continuation, which looks really good. And then that seems to have rejected, got a little midpoint pullback here, broke above, rejected, double top, another pullback. It held this trend, broke above again, 87.69, got a nice rejection, didn't quite get to $1. Got a little front ran before it got to $1. Broke below, bounce, rejection, bounce, didn't even get all the way up. And then you got this very nice pattern right here, which seems to be kind of melting to the downside, but this definitely liquidated some bears, liquidated some bulls, and then it just trended sideways. Pinlink kind of doing the ultimate troll here. So we got a little swoop-de-swoop, broke below 75, and then failed to get back above. We got kind of a midpoint battle going on right here around 65, 66. It's currently sitting at 68, 78. We'll see if it breaks down. Worst case scenario, I would like to see how it reacts at 60. Anything below 60 for me is an accumulation for Pinlink. As you can see right here, this is kind of its zone, its comfort zone. If it gets below that, in my opinion, it's kind of a buy. But we'll see where the market goes. If this year we even get any fun price action, or if 2026 truly is the bull market, we'll have to wait and see. HQZ said, do people still like FET, or is it over? Fetch is actually doing really good in our narrative portfolio. We'll go over that in a moment. Render is down 0.96% on the day. It is still sitting above $4 in our ginormous range of 4 to 650, 660. So render looks awesome. We do kind of have a little head and shoulders kind of situation going on here with a pretty decent sized right shoulder. If that is to be believed, there's also a smaller one right here. Then our modest frugal target, I'm just going to call it 350. So we'll see what holds, what breaks, what happens. Right now we're holding above 4, which is nice. If we do break below that though, and we do break below our lower line of our box around 395-ish, then our next support is going to be 374. Worst case scenario, purple trend line, we're looking at around 367. If we break below that, then it's going to get a little bit spicy. HQZ said, do people still buy bananas taped to a wall, or is it over? I remember the first time that happened, and the second time, I thought in my brain, I was like, is this a Mandela effect? Because I believe Justin Sun bought one of them, but that's not the first one that's existed, as far as I'm aware. And it's a real banana. So the question is, was it the same piece of art, the duct tape banana, and they just replaced the banana every other day? And if that was the case, is it just some random like museum worker replacing the banana? Or does the artist have to replace the banana each time in order for it to still be by them? And if they replace the banana, are they using the same piece of duct tape every single time? Does the banana come from the same tree that the original banana came from? If not, is it from the same company? Is it a homegrown banana? Is it a wild, like, roadside banana? Or is it a banana that they bought at Walmart or Kroger? Where did the banana come from? I would like to know more about the banana's genetics. I would like to know more. Is it brand name duct tape? Is it the Duck brand? Is it Gorilla brand? What brand is it? Is it actual duct tape? Or is it just the silver tape that they call duct tape, but people just use for everything but duct work? What is it? Is it even, what if it's just gray tape? There's too many questions. Is this why it's worth so much money? They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Is a duct tape banana worth 1,000,000 words? It's clearly worth a couple $1,000,000. I don't know. The Heat said, man, I'm wrecked. Fartcoin man, LOL, dumped hard. We're almost to Fartcoin. Jim Derringer said, don't ask about my bananas genetics. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, that's a lot of banana questions. These are the things that are inside my mind. Okay. Overanalyzing banana art. That's our next segment. So yeah, render looks good. Stellar's down 0.6% on the day. Says the daily close currently trading at 41.65. We are in our nice little range on Stellar. We got our little M, we got our little W, we got our little sideways. We're getting our little retest. We'll see if it breaks. If it does break, we'll look for support around 38.5-ish. That should be good enough. Otherwise, our midpoint is going to be 35, which is a nice psychological zone. Polkadot is down 0.96% on the day. Polkadot had our MW. The W seems to have bounced off of 390. Couldn't quite get above 421 with conviction. We got above it. We rejected for a minute, got above it, and then immediately broke below 4. We're currently sitting at 392. Next stop, probably 378. I don't see it holding this 390-ish area like it did previously. This is very wishy-washy. And volume's kind of fallen off. RSI's almost oversold though, but it did cross bearish over the moving average, and your momentum wave is starting to shift to the downside. So we will see where she ends up. If it does hold 378, then we do have to take into consideration the concept of a head and shoulders, because that will technically have been a break below the neckline, and then you could get a retest and confirmation continuation of the downside, in which case your frugal target would be probably 333. We'll see what plays out. A lot of head and shoulder looking at things though. Fartcoin currently down 2.55%. Fartcoin rejected at 139. So Fartcoin, for the third time in a row, we got a break below our lower trend line, in which case it broke below the green trend line at 139 with a lot of wicks. So indecisive people were scooping it up for a hot second. Let me zoom in a little bit here better. Yeah, zoom in. So broke below the purple trend line. Wick City broke below 139. Support right here. Rejection. Little fake out below. Indecisive candle. Almost bullish engulfing. Rejection again. Indecisive rejection. Little midpoint support. Nice wicks. And another rejection with a lot of sell pressure above 139. And that just resulted in some pretty hefty downside. Currently sitting at 112. It literally broke through 128. 121 and 114. So definitely want to look for support somewhere. $1 is probably going to be relatively strong, but keep in mind this is a meme coin, and sometimes you just can't trust a fart. It don't matter. And sometimes if you try to trust it, there's no like, oh, I'm going to test the waters a little bit and get a little bit out. If you can't trust it, if it's not trustworthy, once the floodgates are open, it's game over. You gotta call into work. You're gonna have you're gonna have to like Uber Eats some kind of underwear or something. Can you even do that? Can you use like Uber Eats to buy clothes? Is that a thing? I wonder if that's a thing. We should start that service. I wonder if that is there enough demand for soiled clothing in like big cities to where you could start like a Uber wear and deliver clothes to people. And they don't have to say, oh, I pooped my pants, so I need new underwear. They can just be like, bring me a whole outfit. I want pants, shirt, underwear, socks, a hat. And then you're like, okay, because if I'm in that scenario, I'm going to pay you $150 to deliver whatever the hell you need to deliver me. I don't care if it's only $10 worth of clothing and it's $140 to deliver it. I'm paying, dude. I'm paying up. What if I said Uber Eats, dumbass? Some people eat underwear, Waterfly. I don't know, man. People are weird. You can buy other stuff other than food from Uber Eats. You can order things like that. See? Dumbass. Come at me. Josh said good plan. I know, right? What do we see? Hold on. Jim Derringer said Ethereum opening up opportunities here for spot before the next leg up, opening up a lot of opportunities as we probably pull back into Friday. Unverified said, is bull market usually this choppy for alts? Yes, absolutely. Altcoin bull market pullbacks are going to be 20% or more most of the time. it gets pretty dicey. And if you're really new and you don't have a handle on your emotions, which not a lot of people do, I will be the first to admit that I was that guy during last bull market. Waterfly was there. Fahid was probably there. When we dumped like this, 20, this is nothing. This is nothing right now. This is like a cakewalk. The 20 to 30% bull market pullbacks, I lost my mind every time. I would go into the Discord and I'd be like, what the F is going on? This is so stupid. Freaking out because my like $100, maybe let's just say for whatever crazy reason, maybe I had $1,000 in the market at the time. This is 3, 4, 5 years ago. I was broke. Let's say I had $1,000 though. 20%, I'm down $200. I have $800 versus $1,000. That's still a crap ton of money to me. I don't know why I was freaking out, but 20% pullbacks in a bull market, pretty par for the course. Waterfly said, happy birthday to your mom. Thank you very much, Waterfly. Rahid said you can order things like that. HQZ said, serves you right for buying a coin named after air that passes through an anus. Unverified said, a bull market is, oh, yep, I read that already. Josh said, good plan. Philly said, JJ KuCoin is listing a coin called Tree. Can you take a look and see if it's any good? It's not on KuCoin yet. Srikar said, Sui. I will take a look at Sui for you, my friend. Jim said there is a value area. The hard part is figuring out where it is exactly. So let's go take a look at Sui really quick, and then I'll take a look at Tree. Don't let me forget we're on Cast next. With Sui, we got a rejection at 438, a break below our 410 temporary. We have not solidified this support line yet because it's very new. It's literally based on this price action right here. But Sui's been cranking it out, so we might be able to solidify that. We did just shoot right above it and right below it immediately. This was a very quick move. I would love to see it close the day above 391, but there's still like 20 or so hours, 22 hours until the daily close, so we got a lot of time to figure out where we're going to end up. If Sui does continue to the downside, I would look for some support around 370, maybe even a reaction. But if it continues this route, it might literally just shoot straight through these, kind of like Farcoin did. But these are going to be at points of interest, so look for a reaction, even if it's on the shorter time frame. 391, 370, 353, 342. These are price confluence areas where previous price action has occurred. We got a rejection right here. We got support right here. We got rejections, support, rejection, bunch of support. So that shows you the confluence for this 370, 353, and 342. It's literally just based on where the price has reacted before in the past. It can bounce in between these. It can reject, bounce, break, bounce, all that stuff. So wherever that's occurred, we put lines down, and usually they play out later. They have some semblance of relevance to the price. There's some psychological thing. Maybe it's bots. I don't know. But yeah, look for those support areas. It's not quite oversold yet on the 4-hour time frame. We didn't even get overbought, though. We got rejected right around 70, and we're currently sitting right on top of 40. Your momentum wave is pointing to the downside, and you do have a confirmed red dot. Back here, I mean, you could probably argue that that's played out already, but you got your bearish cross over the moving average on the RSI, and like I said, your momentum wave starting to point to the downside on the 4-hour time frame. Next, let's take a look at Tree for Philly. This is what I would normally do. I'm in the middle of making like a how to get started in crypto video. So this is a good demonstration. What I would normally do, if Philly's like, hey man, go check out Tree, I'm going to go, okay. I'm going to go to CoinMarketCap. I'm going to look it up right here. 3550. This, I'm assuming, is the one that's listing on KuCoin soon. Unless KuCoin's literally like just launching that coin. Now I gotta look. Oh, right here. KuCoin expands trust framework. Hold on, is this it? Tree news? Institutional custody about Tree. Maybe not. It's only on Uniswap right now. Market cap, fully diluted value, 38.8 million. Profile score is really low. Let me see. KuCoin Tree listing. KuCoin Tree gets listed on KuCoin. World premiere 14 hours ago. Treehouse. Okay. So it is different. It's this one. Treehouse news. Sweet. Nope. There's 1 billion of it. Max supply, total supply circulating. Not much. So there's an unlock schedule. This is the coin. So it looks like it's launching via KuCoin. Decentralized fixed income layer, earn enhanced yield while enabling a new era of fixed income products for digital assets. Okay, so you can stake. And the unlock, core contributors, team, strategic investors, exchange partnerships, treasury, ecosystem fund, future airdrop, liquidity provision. Okay, so none of these seem to be for staking rewards, which is good. Community airdrop, community rewards, 20%. Maybe that's what that is. So this big chunk right here, this 20%, the largest allocation, which it's the largest allocation, but is team strategic investors the same? Are those the same? And that adds up to like 30. Maybe core contribute, like they could just change the name, but let's try to look at it with an open mind. 20% is going to community rewards. That's probably this staking, which I'm assuming is either going to drop off over time or just end entirely, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. T assets powered DOR, decentralized offered rates, a consensus mechanism for establishing robust benchmark rates, the bedrock of fixed income markets. It seems like they have all the right buzzwords to become popular. If you want to take a gamble on it, I'm not seeing any flags, but it's kind of a flag in itself that it's launching on KuCoin. It's not even like trading live yet. So just be careful. It is at this rate, if you do buy into this, it's going to be 100% gamble. I have no opinion of it other than the fact that their website looks nice. They got all the nice buzzwords that draw me in as an investor. But I'm not really seeing anything. They have a Discord. I would go check out their Discord maybe. Let's see what their Twitter looks like. Treehouse, fixed income DeFi. Yeah, they got all the nice graphics and stuff. Gaia. Marketing team seems relatively on top of it. It's going to list on MXC as well, so it looks like they're listing everywhere at once. Just be careful. Make sure you don't get dumped on right when they launch. It might be worth... I don't know, though. They seem to have the money to be able to launch on all these big boy exchanges. This might be the next one, Philly. Obviously not financial advice. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a gamble no matter what. But, I don't know. I might pick some up just for fun. But he said Sui had an unlock, didn't it? Let's actually go look. What's nice about CoinMarketCap is you can check this stuff if they publish it. Yeah, it looks like Sui has an unlock. So they had one May 27th, June 27th, July 27th. So yes, they did. Sui had an unlock. And then the next one is next month. 27th of every month. Wow. And it does look like it just tapered off. So you got nice steep, and then it gets a little more shallow, and then it gets really shallow, and it stays that amount of shallow. It might even get a little more shallow over here. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell. But looks like you're going to taper off again May of 2026. So I do, like, I'm not a big fan of the unlock schedule thing, but if they're transparent about it, it doesn't bother me. And Pepe said, Peep is the king. Pepe. What's going on, Pepe? Jim Derringer said there's value area hard part is finding out. So we had a terrifying amount of open interest in the last 12 hours. Looks like it finally became unsustainable. Open interest was above the $5. Crazy. Yeah, it does look like it's going to continue to the downside, just like everything else here. All right, where were we? We were at CAS. CAS is down 1.28% since the daily close. Currently trading below 9.7 cents, sitting at 9.5 cents right now. Probably targeting 9 cents. If we break below that, then it's going to get a little spicy. Our midpoint, 93. But it kind of seems like we're getting a hefty altcoin pullback right now. So Just be careful out there, guys. Manage your risk tolerance. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Happy Monday. Cheers. RSI sitting just below 40, around 36. Momentum wave pointing to the downside. Your RSI did get a bearish cross over the moving average. Yeah. CAS probably targeting at least 9 cents. Avalanche is down 2.62%. Rejection at 27.33. Avalanche was doing great. Just flying, man. Little fake out. Got some liquidity right here. Broke above. Rejected at 27.33. Continuing down. Broke 25. Currently sitting at 24.56. If we continue to the downside, 23.20 should be a nice support zone, but our midpoint would be 24.08. Or just, we'll just call it 24. Volume looks okay. RSI did get a bearish cross over the moving average, currently sitting at 45-ish. We'll see if it continues the downside. It looks like it's, I don't know, Avalanche just looks good to me for some reason. I don't know why. It really does. But we'll see what happens. Momentum wave is lingering in the middle. It's not necessarily pointing to the downside. It just kind of looks like it's going to mellow out. But we'll see. We'll see. Chainlink's down 1.05%, currently trading at 17.93. Got a rejection around 19.50. Currently sitting at 17. I read that already. 17.93. 17.50 should be a nice support zone if we break through that, though. Midpoint is going to be like 16.50. Otherwise, 15.83 is in the cards. Chainlink looks okay too, actually. We did get a bearish cross over the RSI's moving average. Momentum wave kind of looking like it's going to mellow out, just like Avalanche momentum wave. Let's see what happens here. It looks like we had a sharp sell-off, and then it just kind of like mellowed out. Is it going to continue to mellow out? Is it going to curl up? Is it going to mellow out and then curl down? Do this kind of S-curve kind of thing? Like, what's going to happen? We'll definitely observe. Doge is down 1.08%, currently trading at 22.36. Break below 24. Which I think we were talking about the other day. Did the same thing right here. Broke below, came back above, tried to test, broke below again. We're currently sitting at 22.35. 21.65 should be nice support. If we break below that, I don't know if I would even look for a midpoint between these two. They're so close. I guess 20 would be the next support zone on Doge specifically. If I was looking at this inverted, I would say, oh, this looks like a beautiful reversal, cup and handle. Like, that looks good. Poised for some upside. But because it's inverted, it looks poised for some downside. Not financial advice. Obviously, anything can happen. Philly said, JJ, thanks for the analysis, sir. Anytime, Philly. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for smashing the like button. Thanks for being a member of JJ's Cryptic Corner. Guys, we magically acquired a very large quantity of subscribers from my latest upload, so I appreciate you guys for being absolute legends. Most of you guys were here sub 1K. Most of you guys, all of you guys are actually here sub 10K, so you are all actual legends. Wait until we hit 1 million. It's going to be crazy. You guys are going to be like, I watched JJ before he was mainstream. It's going to be pretty sick. When I hit 1 million, I'm going to do a $1,000 giveaway on a regular basis because I suspect I'll have $1,000 to give away by that point. And I want you guys to reference this. Hold me to it. July 28th, 2025. $1,000 giveaways once we hit a million subs. At least 2. I got to do at least 2 of them in order for it to be fulfilled. NIR is down 2.14%, currently trading at 269. Nice. 269.7 is our support zone that we're looking for. We'll see how we react here. Volume looks good. Nice, looks nice and sustained. Jim said I was here before JJ sold out. I told you guys about the indicator that those people contacted me about. I will say, I'll actually, I don't know if I can even show you. Can I show you guys? Is that cheating yet? I'm not going to show you guys yet. I haven't decided whether or not I want to actually do anything with them. But I've been using it so far. I don't mind it. I really don't. But I told the guy, you know, I gotta check it out first and see if it's even something that's useful to me. If it's not useful to me, I'm not gonna promote it to my audience. And he was super cool about it. He's like, yeah, absolutely. We want to make sure that you guys get value out of it. You know, he's a salesman. It's his job. But he seems like a super cool dude. And I worked sales with the scummiest salespeople, so I can sniff them out if they suck. So far, this guy doesn't suck. We actually had a guy stop in today at my office with some cleaning stuff, and it worked really good. He did a really good job. The problem is when you're doing sales, you can never turn off your nice. I would love to buy a product from you. Give me a card, whatever. I asked about a website. As soon as he found out that we didn't have cash, he stopped talking, packed up, and left. He didn't say a word. He didn't say, "Thank you, gentlemen." He didn't say. He was great the whole time. He was amazing. I was almost sold. If I had the money, I probably would have bought the thing because it was a great cleaning product. He sprayed it on a stain on the carpet, and it literally disappeared. And I looked it up, and it's a legitimate product and stuff. After he left, I looked it up. It's a good product. But he did the biggest no-no, dude. As soon as we were like, "Oh, man, I don't have any cash on me right now." And we were being super cool about it. We weren't being dicks. We could have told him to screw off and kicked him out. And he just shut down, packed up his stuff, and left. It was the strangest thing I think I've ever witnessed. It was very weird. Gourmet Brands Brooklyn said, "Do your due diligence on them. Trust no one." 100%. Exactly. Jim said, "I was here before JJ sold out." Yeah, Gourmet. It is a legitimate. It's a legitimate indicator. Like they gave me access to it, and so far it looks nice. But yeah, I agree. 100%. Look for 251 support if it continues to downside. Our mid range is gonna be 260. If it holds us 269, that would be nice. Our side got your bearish cross over the moving average, and momentum wave is pointing to the downside. We're kind of getting like a double top thing here at $3. So Manuel said grass. Is it Manuel? Manuel. God, you can tell how white I am. Grass is at 82.36. Is this the same chart? I have a chart that I think I've drawn on, don't I? Is it Poloniex? No. Which one is it? MXC. Maybe I haven't drawn on a grass chart. So I believe grass is a rewards token for their like program. So there's gonna be constant. Don't quote me on this. Let me actually double check. There might just be constant sell pressure on this. Yeah, they don't have their max supply. Circulating supply is 243.9. Let me actually do you a favor. This is actually really useful. Coin market cap historical chart. Let's go back here when it was November 30th, 2024. So I want to find 2024. Go to November 30th. People are probably so sick of me pulling stuff. November 24th. That's as close as we're going to get. So November 24th, the price was around $2.15-ish. So let's go find it here. So it's not in the top 200. Let me load some more. Load some more. Okay, now let's see if we can find it. Okay, hang on. Right here, number 236. So back here, they had 243 million circulating. Okay, so they have not inflated their supply. That's actually really, really good. The question is, the next question, I guess, is there an unlock? There does not seem to be. Interesting. Okay, so this is literally just trading and selling. People are selling more than people are buying. I would never have suspected that. My biggest question here is, so the fully diluted value is 822 million, which means they have 25%, a little bit less than 25% circulating, because fully diluted value is going to be once they're all released. So there's 75% of it to be released still. Now, I will say, to their defense, they have not released any of that yet, because the circulating supply has not changed for at least a couple months, which is good. Now, that does not mean that the price cannot go lower. You are kind of reaching critical mass right here, because it launched, it skyrocketed, and this was your first candle, was right around 65 cents. It's sitting at 82 cents right now. And this coin at one point was like $3 or $4. So and it went through an entire Cardano cycle within 12 months. Not even 12 months. This thing launched in October. It's not even October yet. Within 10 months. This thing went through 5 years worth of price action in 10 months. That's pretty significant. And again, that's the risk that you take with meme coins, or not even meme coins, just low caps in general. Buy zone is going to be up to your bias if you believe in the project or not. This was one of those that had a little bit of controversy around it. It is some semblance of a rewards program. I don't know if it's a rewards token specifically. First internet scale web crawl. Today, the network is powered by 3 million users who are running nodes to scrape petabytes of data for AI models. Only 2 companies in the world are capable of crawling the entire web, and this capability has the... Okay, so it seems like they're selling the concept. Just by reading this, it sounds like something I would want to buy. So they're doing a good job there. It is a relatively newer project, and it's sitting under $1 billion market cap. It's actually sitting under $250 million. Fully diluted, it's still under $1 billion. So, okay, so it says right here their total supply is 1 billion. Their max, it doesn't show a max, so they might not have a cap. They might be able to print more out of thin air if they wanted to. Circulating is that 25%, like I said. So they still got 75% that they can unleash. I guess I would look into when that's going to come out. Try and figure out when that's going to happen, because there is no unlock schedule on CoinMarketCap, which is a little wishy-washy for me. But besides that, it's a somewhat established project. The only thing for me is this, that this is a little bit sketch to me. Like, why is it not sustaining any of these pumps? This got sold off. Took a little bit of a while, which is fine. This got sold off immediately. This didn't even have a chance to get up. This didn't have a chance to get up. And now it's kind of slumping over, which is not a bad thing, but why is it like sustaining this downtrend for so long? That is a sustained downtrend right there. And it might be the perfect time to buy. Your volume kind of falling off with the price. RSI on the 4-hour is incredibly oversold. Yeah, just be careful. 65 would be my support that I would look for if it keeps going down. Jim said CoinGecko has the correct supply. It's 300 million now. Oh, so they have unlocked. Okay. Oh, they have unlock schedule too. Okay, let's go take a look actually. Oh, thank God they have dark mode. Grass. So grass, where's our unlock schedule? Is there a thing that I have to click on? Circulating supply. Okay. Nope. That does nothing for me. Grayscale grass, tokenomics. There we go. Yeah, see, be careful. Be very, very careful. August 31st. Between August 31st and September 20th, they're unlocking a very, very large quantity of grass. And then it's daily after that. Nope, monthly. It's monthly after that. September, October, November, December. So monthly, they're going to unlock more and more. And then it tapers off. And then eventually, 2028, they're done. So just be careful. Careful out there. Always got to watch your own back. They do have a very clear unlock schedule that seems to be approaching relatively fast. When is this? August 31st. So that's people are probably selling in anticipation of this big. It's essentially a print, but it's not. The overall supply does not change. The circulating supply does become inflated, which means there's probably going to be more on the open market getting unleashed. It's literally everything. You're getting foundation and ecosystem growth, early investors, airdrop, contributors, and router rewards. Which this should actually be the largest, but it is actually the smallest. I thought it was a rewards token. Clearly, it's just a money printer, and then rewards are like B list, B tier. So just be careful. That's not to say that it's not going to go up. It's probably a relatively decent investment at the right time. Chili's down 0.1% on the day. Got a nice bounce off of our purple trend line, sitting at 41.25. We'll see if we can get above 41.44. I like that it's bouncing off of 41, or bouncing off of our 40 purple trend line. Volumes picked up a little bit here. We got a little bit of an S curve going on our RSI. The question is, are we going to cross back bullish over our moving average? And is our momentum wave going to curl up as well? It does look a little spicy here. It looks like we got some potential. And TradingView says to sell, so it's probably a buy. Obviously not financial advice. Silver today lingered around 38, totally fine. MicroStrategy got a little bit of sell-off after opening up the gap. DXY, beautiful recovery out of the DXY, kind of crazy. NASDAQ, another beautiful day out of the NASDAQ, and the S&P 500 closing with a green 4-hour, but probably, I'm assuming maybe, nope, I think it closed the day green as well. No, it actually closed the day red. So it opened with a gap and closed red. Interesting. Still looking good though. If we're following this fractal, then we're looking at a little pullback into the S&P before another pump to 64.40. But we'll see what happens. Bitcoin dominant 61.49. Possible rejection weakness around 61.8. Currently, Bitcoin is 118 at 372. I like these wicks right here, indicating some buys. Looks very similar back here, which gave us a little spike before a huge dump. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Everybody keep an eye on Mike Novogratz and Galaxy Digital, because we know they like to dump their bags, which I will say I actually have no problem with. I think that was a really cool experiment. All right. Jim said, I guess they have a 50 million in a treasury or something. The 1 billion token amount has me hesitant on anything recently. 1 billion seems to be the VC craze. Plenty of coins for VCs to dump. Exactly. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, you think we get a pump tomorrow with the White House release strategic reserve report? Ooh, I don't know. That's actually going to be interesting. Jim said, this smells like a choppy week. Honestly, so much data. Friday is tariff deadline. Even the EU-US trade deal, no impact. That's because there's nothing in paper yet. We all know. I think the market learned not to take everything at face value of the White House, because the White House is going to come out and be like, oh my gosh, Satoshi Nakamoto is alive, but he said that he's lost the keys to his Bitcoin. And everyone would be like, okay, nobody would do anything. Because later they would be like, oh, actually, that was a lie. Nobody said that. What are you talking about? And then gaslight you, and you're like, what? I sold all of my Bitcoin. That's been happening left and right. We're like, we got trade deals. And then the other country is like, we didn't do a trade deal. And then the other country will be like, we did a trade deal. And then the United States is like, we didn't do a trade deal. It's literally like this weird back and forth. They're like literally forcing you not to believe anything. Anything. Which is kind of funny. It's kind of literally killing mainstream news media because of all the false reporting that they do. So maybe it's strategic. Regardless, it kind of cracks me up a little bit. Mr. Roberts said, hey there. You are ya nut tuggers. What's going on, Mr. Roberts? Jim said, Wintermute apparently moving Bitcoin to Binance. Something happened back in February? Same thing happened back in February. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said SEC meeting too. Maybe drop the XRP case. What? I thought the XRP case was done. What are you talking about? Are you joking? Beppy the Barber said, bro, just woke up. Can't sleep while in longs and the market dumping. Yeah, unfortunately, that's what happens. But we get through it. We get through it together as a family. It's like the Fast and Furious. All right, let's see. Bitcoin kind of dancing around. We'll see what the RSI starting to curl up a little bit, which is a little bit interesting. Bitcoin dominance getting that little rebound, like we said. We got some news articles to go through, guys. Events this week. Key events this week. CB consumer confidence data comes out on Tuesday. June JOLTS job opening data comes out on Tuesday, which is both tomorrow. Q2 2025 GDP data comes out on Wednesday. Fed meeting and interest rate decision comes out on Wednesday. June PCE inflation data comes out on Thursday. July jobs report comes out on Friday. We have a massive week ahead of us. And I think Jim's right. I think the market's just going to get analysis paralysis. Beppy the Barber said ADA. Yes, sir. ADA. Potential support at 74.75. If we do continue to the downside, we did get a break below our 82.80 support, which we were watching. ADA has the same pattern that every single chart has right now. We got the M, we got the W, and then it kind of came up, chopped sideways, and then gave up after a little attempt to go up. But we couldn't quite hold above 90, and we're sitting at 78.93 right now. Our RSI crossed below its moving average on the 4-hour time frame, and our momentum wave on market cipher is pointing to the downside as well. But that is just on the 4-hour. You said Bitcoin dominance possible W. That is also possible. Yes, sir. So we did call this bounce, the bounce off of 60, and the rejection at 62. The question is it going to continue to the downside? So far, we've got another bounce at 60, which is where that W comes into play. Hopefully, we can reject at 62. If we break through it, though, I would look for a reaction at 64. I'm hoping that that's not the case. I would like to see it, even if it just gets a higher high out of this. Higher high, higher low, and then a breakdown of the trend. I would be okay with that as well. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. So far, there's nothing too detrimental pointing one way or the other. It's really is just a waiting game at this point. Jim said XRP will forever be number 3, even without a lawsuit. If they reported on actual unemployment, we dump. U6 looks terrible. I don't know what that means. All right, next we got earnings this week. Lots of earnings coming out this week. We got Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Qualcomm, ARM, Cloudflare, MicroStrategy, Robinhood, Coinbase, SoFi, PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, eBay, Reddit, Spotify, Roblox, ExxonMobil, Chevron, Ford, Harley-Davidson, Carvana, Boeing, UPS, Whirlpool, United Health, CVS, Merck, AbbVie, Starbucks, Hershey, Kraft Heinz, Procter & Gamble, Colgate, Palmolive, and Altria. So it's going to be a big week for stock market. The level of greed has hit historic levels. U.S. margin debt rose $87 billion in June and has surpassed $1 trillion for the first time ever. In the past, spikes like this have occurred near major corrections like 1999 or 2007. People are borrowing to buy stocks as never before. I don't know if they worded that correctly, but sure. Beppy the Barber said thank you. Thank you, Beppy the Barber, for stopping by, smashing the like button, and subscribing if you are new. Welcome to the channel. Jim said U6 is the aggregate unemployment data that focuses on continuing claims as opposed to initial claims. Okay, interesting. Breaking: PayPal enables Bitcoin and crypto payments for U.S. merchants. This one is actually huge. Nobody's really talking about this. This is probably one of the bigger news pieces I think cryptocurrency has had. PayPal's a huge payments processor, and them facilitating cryptocurrency payments for merchants, they probably should have done this like 3 or 4 years ago. I feel like I remember them doing this like 3 or 4 years ago, but they announced it today. I'm happy with it. We'll see where it goes. President Trump comments on Fed Chair Powell. He's leaving very soon. I'll miss him, Trump says. I'm pretty sure they're literally talking about early next year, but you know that all these news places are going to take it out of context. Housing defaults have just hit the highest levels since 2011. Buckle up. This one was really interesting. US dollar is now used in nearly 50% of global payments, the highest level in more than 12 years. Euro, not so much. So the US dollar kind of consumed what the euro has lost, which is very interesting. Next, we got nearly $1 billion worth of Ethereum shorts will be liquidated if Ethereum crosses $4,000. PayPal announces Pay with Crypto to allow merchants to accept Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies with instant conversion into stables or fiat at just 0.99% per transaction. It slashes fees by up to 90% versus international credit cards. Margin investing is skyrocketing. Margin debt just jumped 9.4% in June to a record $1.01 trillion. This also marks the largest monthly increase in history at plus $87 billion. Over the last 2 years, margin debt has surged by $400 billion. To put this into perspective, total margin debt relative to the US M2 money supply hit 0.046, the highest since 2018. Risk appetite is through the roof. I like how they say, to put this into perspective, like a layman is going to understand this, and then they proceed to say a sentence that you need to like have graduated with a rocket science degree to understand. What the hell is 0.046 US M2 money? The relative, it says total margin debt relative to the US M2 money supply has hit 0.046. If that's like the percentage, then that's nothing. Is that supposed to intimidate me? I don't know. Maybe I'm detached from what the dollar value is because I've been in crypto for too long. I definitely have caught myself thinking $500 million is not a lot several times. Ripple patents in instant cross-border payments as futures open interest hits $8.8 billion, filed under U.S. patent number 11,998,003. The patent details a real-time payment solution that bypasses traditional need for consensus from the entire network before finalizing. Very exciting stuff. Feel free to go read that yourself. Ripple making more of a name for themselves. We got Whale, likely related to Definance Capital, bought 30,366 Ethereum, $114 million US in the past 28 hours. Crazy. Jim Derringer said the euro's problem is that it's too strong. The last theoretical measurement of the derivatives market was 2 quadrillion. See, that puts it into perspective. I don't know what the hell 0.0046 or whatever number they gave. That made no sense to me. That put nothing into perspective for me. Thank you, Jim, for knowing what the word put into perspective means. The words. Mr. Roberts said, sleep well, Beppy. Bitcoin will be higher later this year. Don't worry. I like that, Mr. Roberts. That was nice. Bravos Research credit card defaults from smaller lenders are at record levels, surpassing even the dot-com bubble and financial crisis peaks. Wow, it's almost like the population of the planet has increased. Whoa. And the US M2 money supply, or the world money supply. Metaplanet buys another 780 Bitcoin worth $93 million. They now hold 17,132 Bitcoin worth $2 billion. Could you imagine? Could you imagine just having like 4 Bitcoin? These people got 17,000. That's actually insanity. Jim said the problem they're highlighting is that 2018 saw corrections leading into the lending spike of September 2019, which was immediately followed by COVID, then rate cuts. Interesting. Can we get rate cuts? Can interest rates on mortgages go down so I can buy a house? I need to stop saying rate cuts. I just need mortgage interest rates to decrease. Please, finance gods, decrease mortgage rates so that I can get a house with my very not enormous income without having to actually kill myself by working 40,000 hours a week. Jim also said this allowed larger entities to roll debt from previous 0% era 4 years prior before Powell hiked. Wow, sounds like Powell's an asshole. PayPal to allow merchants to accept crypto payments. Cool, we already read that. Financial giant Interactive Brokers considers allowing crypto stablecoin funding for brokerage accounts. Interesting. Bitwise says stablecoins are growing parabolic. We knew that this was going to happen. Jim said, help me short the US 10-year and we'll get affordable mortgages. Is that a thing? How do I do that, Jim? I do have a Robinhood affiliate link in the description, guys. If you guys are interested in purchasing stocks, you can do so via Robinhood. You can also buy cryptocurrency through them, and you can send that cryptocurrency to a decentralized self-custody wallet. So Robinhood is one of those on-ramp options if you guys are looking for an on-ramp option. Not financial advice. I prefer Coinbase for my cryptocurrency, and then I off-ramp into a self-custody wallet. But, you know, to each their own. Make sure you guys smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. Subscribe if you're new. Happy Monday. We usually do a daily close contest every single day, so we will be back to our regularly scheduled programming tomorrow. If you guys are here at 7:50 p.m. EST, we usually start streaming around like 7:20 EST, and then 7:50 is the starting point for our daily close contest. You literally just submit what you think the price for Bitcoin is going to be at the daily close, and then 7:55 is the hard cutoff, and then at 8 p.m. we pick the winner. closest without going over wins bragging rights. If you nail the first 6 digits, you win $15. If you nail all 8, then you win $100. And it literally costs nothing for you to participate. All you have to do is be subscribed and smash the like button and submit your guess. A lot of fun. You can purchase real estate in Dubai with crypto. Here's how it works legally and securely. Dubai's residential property prices have continued to soar in 2025, partly driven by the growing ease of crypto payments. This I thought was really neat. SEC has delayed its decision on the Truth Social Bitcoin ETF listing. New deadline September 18th, 2025. Why would they delay that? It's a Bitcoin ETF. They already have these. It's so goofy to me, man. Why are we so inefficient as a government? Drummer said Coinbase sucks it from the bank. Jim said, thankfully, Robinhood opened up their wallet. He also said if Coinbase wasn't predatory with gating certain discount behind total trading volume and paid service, it might be a decent place to hold spot. Yeah, unfortunately it's one of the safer centralized, but I don't think I'm comfortable holding my money anywhere centralized. Is that weird? I think I'd just rather be at fault for losing my own keys than, have a centralized exchange collapse like Voyager or Celsius or BlockFi or all of the other ones that collapsed. FTX, it's ridiculous how many of those things went under. Calum Talks Crypto posted, Bitcoin is pushing the upper end of the channel of the bull flag. Is it going to finally break out? Apparently not. This is at 118.436. We're currently at 118.34. Okay, so I guess we're getting close. Jim said they gate spread fees discount behind your trading volume, total trading volume. It's pretty lame. I got a pretty hefty increase in my allowance that they let you buy during the bull market, thanks to all of the stimulus checks that we received, which was pretty fun. Top Bitcoin holders, top custodian Coinbase, clients and customers, top fund BlackRock. Clients, top holder, MicroStrategy, owned, and top exchange, Binance customers. Trump on Thailand, Cambodia. Just spoke to the acting Prime Minister of Thailand and Prime Minister of Cambodia. I am pleased to announce that after the involvement of President Donald J. Trump, both countries have reached a ceasefire and peace. Congratulations to all. By ending this war, we have saved thousands of lives. I have instructed my trade team to restart negotiations on trade. I have now ended many wars in just 6 months. I am proud to be the president of peace. Very nice. Can he be the president of prosperity as well? I would love to buy a house. That Pulse player said, I told you the big money is halting the market till rate cuts. Good. Good. I hope they hit Powell right in the wallet. Stock Money Lizard posted Bitcoin update. Posted it a couple of weeks ago. Bitcoin is on the verge of a big move, excluding short-term volatility, of course. Year-end targets 150 to 160K. Conservative 180 to 200. Optimistic. I will take it. We're about to hit Q4 pretty soon. Halting the bull run. Yeah, I believe it. Adam Livingston. This I thought was a really interesting post. Bitcoin killed real estate. Nobody takes real estate seriously anymore. You get a 30-year relationship with a bank, a city that taxes you forever, and a roof that ages like milk. Bitcoin only gave you roughly 70 to 80% annualized over the past decade while doing nothing in your garage. Let's break it down. Yeah. Bitcoin is definitely superior, in my opinion. And then last but not least, we got altcoins will hit the golden cross in 3 days. Pretty sure everyone's been saying this for like months, but who cares? Back in 2021, low caps pumped 150 to 175x during a similar phase. Alt season starts on August 1st, and you still have a chance to turn $100 into 100K. Here's a list of alts, blah, blah, blah. So go check that out if you want to read that clickbaity list of alts. Let's go refresh our liquidation heat map, see where Bitcoin is chilling. 118,367. Looks like we might start to see a push up here. We'll see. Jim said it's not even the stock or crypto market, it's the bond market. They're trying to roll debt into new business cycle. Mike Joey said they sent me a cornmeal sandwich with a shriveled up pickle and a sauce packet. Jim said the business cycle based on the IMS chart has hesitated this year and wagged me down the street, said I'm eating ketchup on the daily. Very nice. Cheers, guys. Happy Monday. Anybody new, smash the like button, subscribe. Appreciate you guys for being here. Let's do a portfolio update. Our 1K to 10K Grok portfolio is down 40 bucks, currently being held up by Render, Sol, ADA, Proppy, and Ondo, being dragged down by Fetch, Doge, Near, Shib, and Aptos. Next, we got our Memecoin portfolio post Libra, still in profit, $53. SNEK and GigaChad. Oops, SNEK actually holding up very nice compared to GigaChad. Doge, SNEK, and GigaChad all in the negative. Pepe's up $48 and Width is up $106. Width is just killing it in this portfolio. Then we got our narrative portfolio, my favorite and the best performer so far, up $125.11, which I believe is a 24% profit so far. VeChain is the only coin that is in the negative. This portfolio is made up of one meme coin, one artificial intelligence coin, one real world asset coin, one decentralized physical infrastructure coin, and one gaming coin, and it is absolutely killing it. Pepe is in profit $69. Nice. Tau is in profit $37. Fetch is in profit $20. Decentraland is in profit $8, and VeChain is negative $11. So far, this portfolio has been the safest bet. And then our perfect entry portfolio, which we did just add Ethereum to last night. Ethereum and Render, now the first two negative assets in the portfolio. Sui is in profit $27. Chainlink is in profit $20. Sol is in profit $1.90. Render is down 94 cents, and Ethereum is down $3. Still, this entire portfolio with 5 assets in it is $45 in the green, looking good. Perfect entry, still holding up to the name, doing a lot better than the 1K to 10K Grok portfolio. Bitcoin 118, 338 and 67 cents. Jim said last time we got a delayed business cycle was a 2017 bull market. I like that. The 2017 bull market was definitely a sought after model in my opinion. When we look back on it, gosh, look at that. Ain't that beautiful? Is that not a bull flag? Am I crazy? Look at that wick too. Woo! Bears and bulls liquidated left and right. Where's the wick to the upside? All right, let's go check out 2017 bull market, man. 2017 bull market. That bad boy right there. Woo! So, yeah, I think this is the fractal that I kept pulling up too. Because we got top 1, top 2. Everyone would have called that a double. They're like, oh my gosh, we double topped. Right back here too, same exact structure. And then this thing just went crazy. Little rejection right here, a little pullback, and then bam, parabolic. Absolutely parabolic. So this went from 17 up into, yeah, September, October, November. So if we are getting a similar structure, then we're in July right now. July, August, we could get an increase and then decrease going into September, bottoming out in September, and then continuation October, top in November, little pullback, and then continuation. November literally closes green, and then December, this thing just goes insane. Santa rally, that's all it takes, man. That short amount of time right there. This is where the whole concept of the bull market comes into play. It does not last long. This right here, from here up to here, these 430% gains on Bitcoin, which was probably thousands of percents in alts, that literally only took 90 days, 3 months. You get 3 months of bull market out of 4 years. Out of 48 months, you get 3 of bull market. The rest is downtrend or chopping sideways or very, very vague slight uptrend. Let's even say, what even is the rest of this from the very bottom? That's another 180 days. Okay, so that's significantly longer. So if you do buy from the Pico bottom, that's still less than a year. Less than 20%, let's call it. Let's call it about 20%. About 20% of the cycle. If the 4-year cycle is even relevant anymore, about 20% of it is spent going up. The other 80% of your time is spent in a downtrend. So you got to keep that in mind. That's why dollar cost averaging is more lucrative than anything else. And then look at that, dude. Imagine being here 2019 and then going all the way back down. Oh my gosh, people right here probably felt awful. That's probably what all this buy pressure was. This was copium right here. People were like, I'm just going to throw all of my money into it. And those people were rewarded so heavily with that 60K. Going from, that's a 10x right there. That's an easy 10x. That's so sick. Dude, the historic Bitcoin chart is so badass. I love going back. That's so cool. All right, let's get back to our 4-hour time frame. Zoom in here. I do want to look at total too. And total crypto market cap. So we got total 3. We're at 1.02. As long as we hold above 1, I'll be happy. If we break that, like I said, it's going to get pretty spicy for alts. But that wouldn't be the end of the world. I would look for support, I guess, around 965. Total 2. Gourmet Brandsburg said, besides Pro, you interested in any real estate coins? Actually, I'm not aware of many real estate coins besides Proppy. And that, I think, was suggested by the audience. Okay, so I'm still looking for this potential breakout at the end of the month, July 30th, which is in 2 days now. We'll see where we end up, obviously. We are looking very double toppy on total 2, though. Double top. Maybe we get the MW. I wouldn't be mad at that. It would kind of stink, though. This one I'm going to be okay with, I think, no matter what, because I guess I would be genuinely worried if we needed to come back down and retest this breakout. That would stink. Because that's a long ways to go. How long was this? I guess the way down is usually way faster. 18 days? So that's, I guess it's half of a month, but still, that sucks, dude. I don't want to do that again. You know? Hopefully we just find support. I would not be surprised, and we've seen this a million times, if this next dip is a lower low, just to fake folks out. Because then everyone's going to go, oh, it's a lower low. Open up your short. And if that's where we bottom and then we just explode from there, there's probably going to be a ton of shorts trapped. Complete bear trap success. All you got to do is give them a lower low, and they go crazy for it. And then total crypto market cap. 3.83 trillion. We are rejecting 3.92 for the second, third, fourth time. We got 1, 2, 3. Technically, this would be the 4th time. So let's see if we get our support at 3.75. Otherwise, maybe look for... Actually, maybe we sideways at 3.75 and then hit our purple trend line and go up from there. Otherwise, we maybe pull back to 3.7 and then above 3.75 and then continue. I don't know. We got a bearish cross over our RSI's moving average and momentum wave kind of sitting at 0. Or yeah, sitting at 0, sitting in the middle. So it's definitely going to be an interesting week. Like Jim said, there's a lot of stuff coming out this week, so that volatility might pick up, which if you're a trader, you probably like the volatility, but it definitely comes with its own set of risks for sure. So like Joey said, we got a real estate coin for hermit crabs and dung beetles. But I remember trying to get my hermit crab to switch shells. It never would. It was the weirdest thing. And I had all kinds of them. Different sizes and stuff. Maybe it was just old. I don't know. Hermit crabs are odd pets. But anyways, guys, I believe that this is where I'm going to love and leave you. I appreciate you guys for being here. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you're new. As always, if Bitcoin starts to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining me. Happy Monday and good night.